Hey everybody, welcome back to another movie review. Hope you guys been enjoying the content channel as of late. I literally just got back from the theater and I need to get some lunch in and stuff like that because I gotta get to work here in a couple hours. Just gotta get some stuff done around the house too. Um, but just got back from seeing this and I have some thoughts. That film that we're going to be discussing today is Michael, which was directed by Antoine Fuqua. You guys may be familiar with movies such as Training Day with Denzel Washington and the Magnificent Seven remake, also with Denzel Washington, as well as some other movies here and there, which are not coming to mind at this moment. Those are the two I can think of. The Equalizer. That's another one he's also done, the Equalizer movies. But this is, as the title suggests, the story of Michael Jackson. And this stars, I believe his name is Jafar Jackson, a relative to Michael Jackson. He steps in to play the title character. And as the story goes, we follow Michael Jackson's early life as a child when he was with his family, and he was a part of the Jackson 5, which was, basically his brothers and him as the lead singer, touring around. And being with I guess you could say the authoritarian or just the tyrant of the house being that of their father, played by Coleman Domingo, who is abusive, he is aggressive, he is dominating, he is a very toxic individual. And as time goes on, the Jackson 5, they kind of started to branch out and they started to become well known. And Michael specifically wants to branch out on his own. He wants to just detach himself from his family, mainly that from his father, and he wants to start his own thing. And he does. He begins to become his own character, becomes much bigger than he could ever anticipate, and finds his own path and forges his own way that doesn't involve his family or his father specifically. So that's the groundwork for this. Now, as we've covered on this channel, obviously this movie has gone through a couple of things. There's been changes behind the scenes. There was things from the estate that they wanted removed from the film. Originally, even way before this was intended to be, at least as it stands, a two-parter. It was originally going to be one big movie. I think it was like a 4-hour cut, or at least they had at least 4 hours worth of footage that they had shot. And they were trying to find ways to compress it to a theatrical run. It seems as though that they are now releasing it in 2 parts. So as the movie ends, it says his story continues. So they're alluding to the idea that there's a second film maybe down the line. But that hinders, obviously, based off the success of this movie. And this movie is well over $100 million. I believe it's like somewhere in the vein of $200 million, and that's not taking into account marketing as well on top of that. So that remains to be seen. But talking about the film proper, though, there are some things about it that are interesting, and then there's a lot of things about it that are not so interesting. For starters, I will say that I think the performances are mostly good, or all good. I mean, all of them do well in their parts. Namely the 2 standouts, in my opinion. I mean, Jafar Jackson, I think he does a good job. I think he gets the mannerisms right. I think that I will just say first and foremost, I am not like a heavy Michael Jackson fan. I mean, I like his music as much as everyone else does, but I don't like go into depths, about like singers and artists and stuff like that. I'm not well versed in his story, so I don't know a whole lot about him outside of things that the movie at one point we're going to address, the whole allegation stuff. But I guess since then the estate has, I guess they've stated that they don't want that stuff to be addressed. So outside of stuff like that, I don't know anything about the guy, so I don't know anything about him. So I can't tell you if the story is being dumbed down or if it's on point, so I can't really say. All I can tell you is just the movie itself, how I feel about it. And talking about the lead actor, I think that he does a commendable job. I mean, he has the mannerisms right. He's able to the dancing, all that seems on point. The voice is on point as well. I do think the voice can be a little bit jarring, especially because, with how popular, Michael Jackson is as a person. I mean, he's an icon. He's probably one of the most iconic people of all time. His voice is very distinct. So, having to hear the voice that Jafar puts on, it's, it is a very, it could fall into the vein of imitation, but it is, to my recollection, that is his voice. So generally he does a good job. I mean, I think he does a fine job with, getting the details right when it comes to portraying the Michael Jackson. But what I was more impressed by was his father, Michael Jackson's father in this film, Colman Domingo. I thought he did a very good job playing the abusive, toxic figure in his life. I mean, every time that he showed up, because they first, display, they lay out a foundation very much so in a very uncomfortable scene of child abuse. They show you that he is, a very, very toxic and scary figure. And every time that afterwards, when he shows up, you feel that. You feel intimidated by him. You feel tense every time he is presented. You definitely feel the weight of that performance. And I think Colman Domingo largely is to be recognized for that. But when we talk about weight, I feel like the movie itself doesn't have that understanding. Because getting into my negatives, I think that when you examine the movie as it stands, I mean, what it's strictly looking at, in terms of a thematic study, is that of trauma and abuse, the lasting effects of it, and, seeing how it also has formed a lot of Michael Jackson's being, why he is the way he is, why does he feel the need to buy animals, random animals like a giraffe or a monkey? Why does he have such a fixation on cartoons or fixations on certain things like the Peter Pan book and All About Neverland and stuff like that? All that is made crystal clear, when you're watching the movie. It all falls back to traumatic response. It all falls back to coping. It's a way for him to find ways to deal with it. But outside of that, as its foundation of a story, to further the depths of that understanding, it doesn't really. It hangs very much so on the surface, and a lot of what is to be examined there is left to rather muted or thin layers, and I just don't get a lot of that heft of what it's trying to talk about, and what it chooses to have more be on the forefront, on very much unfortunately so, in my opinion, is his music. And I know that, of course, his music is everything, right? But it is kind of in the spirit of what I believe Bohemian Rhapsody was, where they front load you with a lot of the songs and a lot of the musical numbers, and all that is done really well, but what does it amount to? What does it mean in terms of a story? How does it relate to Michael Jackson's struggle? How does it relate to the current stance, in the story, within his dynamics with his father? You get a hint of that. You get a hint in some cases as to how that could be, but it's just a hint. It's not something that is confirmed or validated or shown on full display, because that's not really the concern of the movie. The concern, more so times than none, is just to display and flaunt the music of Michael Jackson. And I am disappointed by that. I wish this was a film that actually chose to examine the person that was Michael Jackson, not the figure that he became. I know that he is an icon. We all know he's an icon. But who is he as a person? That's something that I really wanted to see, and I don't think the movie really gets under the skin of Michael Jackson as much as just showing you quite literally just the surface of who he is, of what we have gleamed him to be, and there's, again, just a basic layering, a basic understanding of his upbringing, that of trauma and abuse. And it's not to degrade or to say anything bad about that or whatever. I mean, that's horrible. It's to say that for a movie, for telling a story, there's just not a lot of time dedicated to really exploring that environment. I really think that it should have been more informative to the audience and how it truly does impact them. Because a lot of the things that Michael does throughout the movie, it's just kind of like suggested, but not necessarily, like I said, validated. Where, like, I get why he likes cartoons. I get why he, buys these animals and stuff like that. You get that. It's suggested, but it's never confirmed. Like, we never have like a good moment where Michael like just flat out just, is like admitting to himself or admitting to somebody. It's like, look, I understand what I'm doing. I understand what it is that I'm, why I'm doing the things that I'm doing. I am in ways trying to cope. I am in ways trying to fight through this. Like, they never have a moment like that or have the movie kind of really circle to that point, as much as it just wants to flaunt the music and just to flaunt the performance that is Michael Jackson. And it's just insufficient. It just doesn't, it lingers a lot because of it. And it's very hollow. It's very, very hollow. And I just don't feel as though that we really got a lot, coming out of it outside of a headache, because it has the mentality of a concert. It's loud, it's bombastic, it's got a lot of, energy. But in terms of really getting down to the surf, really getting down to it, it just doesn't have a whole lot to offer outside of, in some ways, a headache. So I think the performances are good. I think that they all do a good job. And I think that they, in terms of the aesthetic of Michael Jackson, I think that they definitely have captured the essence and the presence of him, absolutely. I just don't think that we really got a whole lot in terms of an examination. And I just don't think that there's a whole lot that the narrative itself provides, to make us really connect with the character of Michael Jackson. Or really the family. I mean, I just don't feel like any of the family really gets a shine. I mean, it centralizes itself between Michael and his father, to some extent his mother, but the brothers are almost a side piece here. I don't know. I feel like it's just a really hollow, and the third act, I must say, you can feel it was definitely reworked, because, if you read behind the scenes, they needed to they did some extensive reshoots, and you can feel it. You can feel it definitely in the third act, that they were like needing to find a way to make this work, but as it stands, I mean, it's not terrible. It's been getting some bad press. I mean, as far as reception's going, the audiences seem to be enjoying it, but a lot of the, critical reception is pretty low. I can in some ways see why it is, because it is. Is it a well-made film? Not necessarily. I mean, if you're in it for Michael Jackson only, you're gonna get what you want. But if you're looking for story, if you're looking for characterizations, if you're looking for developments, there's little nuggets there. But I wish there was more than that. So it's more lingering, in some ways kind of boring, to be honest, and just very without depth. So yeah, so those are my thoughts on Michael. I didn't really care for it. Not to say that I hated it. It's not to say that I thought it was terrible. It's just to say that I think that there's pieces of it that I enjoyed, but as it stands, it's more of a headache than it is a damn good time, So. But those are my thoughts. You guys know your thoughts on Michael. If you guys have seen it, I don't know if this is getting a sequel, guys. I really don't think so. I think because of how much this movie's cost, I have big doubts that this is going to be taking off. I'm pretty sure it's going to do well. I mean, opening weekend's projections seem like it's going to do well, but long run, I don't know. But that remains to be seen. But You guys, what are your thoughts on Michael? If you guys have seen it, your guys' thoughts, just if they portrayed Michael Jackson well, if you guys are more informed on him as a subject, let me know. I spoke to someone after the movie was done. They grew up during the time of Michael Jackson, so they had a particular point of view, which I thought was interesting. But you guys, what are your thoughts? All things related in the comment section below. And that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. And until then, I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.